Hello, and welcome back. Tonight, we continue the story of Hunting Party, Part 2 of Chapter 1. Some of them suspected within moments of her arrival on the bridge, whatever decorator had chosen all the lavender and teal fashionings of the rest of the ship, the bridge remained functional, if almost toy-like in its bright, shiny compactness. The crew had to squeeze in uncomfortably. Heris noticed who squeezed in next to whom, and who wished this were over. They had no doubt. They could see what they could see. She might be wearing purple and scarlet, but she had the look, and knew she had. All those generations of command came out her eyes. She met theirs, blue, gray, brown, black, green, hazel, clear, hazy, worried, frightening, challenging. Mr. Gavin, the engineer, thin, almost wispy and gray, had announced, "Captain on the bridge!" In a voice that squeaked. Navigation first, all too pesky, was female and young, and standing close to communications first, who had spots and the slightly adenoidal look that Heris had found in the best comtechs of any ship. The moles, environmental techs, so-called everywhere from their need to crawl through pipe, glowered at the back. They must have suspected she'd seen the ship's records already. Moles never believed that strange smells in the air were their fault. They were convinced that other people, careless people, put the wrong things down the wrong pipe and caused the trouble. Gavin's junior engineering techs distanced themselves from the moles, tried to look squeaky clean and bright. Heris had read their records. One of them had failed the third-class certification 4 times. The other juniors, navigation sour-faced, paunchy male, and communications wispy female, were clearly picked up at bargain rates for off-prime shift work. Heris began, as always on a new ship, with generalities. Let them relax. Let them realize she wasn't stupid, crazy, or vicious. Then, "Now about emergency drills," she said, when she'd seen the relaxation. "I see you've had no drills since docking here. Why is that, Mr. Gavin?" "Well, Captain, after Captain Olin left, I didn't like to seem, like I was taking liberties above my station." "I see, and before that?" "I noticed that there had been no drills since the last planetfall. That was Captain Olin's discretion, I suppose." From Gavin's expression, that was not the reason, but he went along gratefully. "Yes, Captain, that would be it. He was the captain after all." Someone stirred in the back, but they were so crammed together she couldn't be sure who it was. She would find out. She smiled at them, suddenly happy. It might be only a yacht, but it was a ship, and it was her ship. "We will have drills," she said, and waited a moment for that to sink in. "Emergency drills save lives. I expect all you first to ready your divisions." "We surely can't have the time for drills before launch." That was the sour-faced navigation's second. She stared at him until he blushed and said, "Captain." "Sorry, ma'am." "It depends," she said, without commenting on his breach of manners. "I know you're all readying for launch, but I would like a word here with the pilot and nav first." They edged out of the crammed space. She knew the muttering would start as soon as they cleared the hatch. Ignoring that, she fixed the navigation first, with a firm glance. "Serkin, isn't it?" "Yes, Captain." Brisk, bright-eyed. Heris hoped she was as good as she looked. "Brigdis, Serkin, Lalos colony." "Yes, I saw your file. Impressive qualification exam." Serkin had topped the list with a perfect score. Rare even in RSS-trained personnel. The younger woman blushed and grinned. "But what I want to know is whether you piloted the final approach from Dunlin to here." The way she said it could lead either way. She wanted to see Serkin's reaction. A deeper blush. "No, Captain, I didn't. Not entirely, that is." I wondered why someone who'd swept the exam would choose such an inefficient solution. Tell me about it. Well, ma'am, Captain Olin was a good captain, and I'm not saying anything against him, but he liked to do things a certain way. Heris glanced at the pilot. Plisson, his tag said. He had been another rich lady's pilot before he came here. Did you have anything to do with it? She asked. The pilot shot Sirkin an angry glance. She thinks she can shave time to the bone, he said. It's like she never heard of flux storms. I guess you could call it efficient, if you're on a warship. But I wasn't hired to kill, m'lady. Ah, so you thought Sirkin's original course dangerous, and Captain Olin backed you? Well, yes, Captain, and I expect you'll stick with her, being as you're space fleet trained. Heris grinned at him, his jaw sagged in surprise. I don't like getting smeared across space any better than anyone else, she said. But I've reviewed Sirkin's work only as combined with yours and Captain Olin's. Sirkin, what was your original course here? It's in the nav comp. Captain, shall I direct it to your desktop? If you please, I'll look it over, see if I think you're dangerous or not. Did you even have any space flight time, Plesson? No, Captain. The way he said it, he considered it worse than downside duty. She wasn't sure she wanted a half-hearted first pilot. Then I suggest you withdraw your judgment of RSS operations until you see some. War's dangerous enough without adding recklessness to it. I'll expect professional performance from both you and Navigator Sirkin. She turned to go, then turned back. Surprise on their faces, the expression she had hoped to find. And by the way, you may expect drills. Space is less forgiving than I am of sloppy technique. Thank you for listening. This has been Part 2 of Chapter 1, Hunting Party, by Elizabeth Moon, published by Baen Publishing Enterprises. All rights reserved. Thank you very much.